Welcome back to the beautiful Ford Fiesta, and in today's video we're going to be upgrading the £13 Wish air intake. After uploading the video of the installation of this air intake, it didn't take long before people pointed out the flaws in its design. So let's see if we can rectify this error.
This week when I was doing my food shop, as you do, walked down the special buy section and I spotted this. Essentially you can see on the bottom, yeah, like these screws.
Anyway, enough of my spontaneous and irresponsible Audi purchases. Let's remove the filter as it stands.
I need to remove this whole old section. It's not really held in by much, to be honest. Let's just pull this out here.
So I have multiple plans for improving this air intake system, and the first one is placing back the original red pipe that came with the air intake kit. I couldn't get the rubber to fit around the metal tube, so I just heated it up in some hot water until it fitted on. And you can see I was very happy with my achievement.
Then it's just a case of getting it to actually fit somewhere in the car. I think that's the best position I can get it in. So I think I'm going to have to cut the pipe a lot shorter. Look at that. Ooh. This is nice and straight. This, I don't know what happened.
And this is a prime example of why I shouldn't be let loose with power tools.
So essentially I will grind it down and it will fit into here, and it will just be a lot shorter now, which is what I want. So I've taken actually quite a big chunk off, to be fair.
There it is, fitted to the car, and looks so much nicer than the old black tubing. I am also now using the blue tubing that came with the kit, and I did mention in my previous video the issue with this, but I'm just going to monitor the situation and check to see if there's any problems that arise. And you're probably thinking, that looks nice and all, but it's not solved the problem of it being a hot air intake, and that's what I'm going to solve with these next two improvements. So this first upgrade is probably the most common way to stop hot air getting in, as it essentially blocks the hot air coming from the engine bay. Now I fitted this heat shield in a bit of a peculiar way, and this was primarily just to increase the amount of airflow that was getting into the air intake, as well as blocking the hot air from the engine. Let me know in the comments if you think this is a decent setup. You can see here how I'm utilising where the air used to come in for the old air intake system. All that's left now to do is fit it onto the car. Looks sturdy enough to me. Now, on to the next improvement, and this one is a big one, and I think you guys are going to like this. This is modification number 3, and it's got a sports car on the box, so it must be a good one. Some of you may have guessed this already, but it's a cold air intake pipe that feeds from the fog light. To get access to install this new modification, I had to take out the headlight, so I started with that. Now the grand reveal is that I'm going to be installing a cold air intake tube from the fog light. Now in order to do that, I have to remove the fog light, and that turned out to be a bit of a challenge.
Right, so I actually managed to get this, my wash bottle, loose, which will help me get better access to it. Oh, hello. This is the inner arch rail. You can see I've got access now.
So I just need to remove the following two screws.
Now really dirty, but I managed to get it out. But I used that was going to do me as a fog light anyway. Look at it. Look at this thing. I need new ones anyway. It's all come apart. And even the top lens that was meant to be on it come off.
This is what happens when you don't wear gloves and end up wiping your face. I look like I've changed my profession to be a chimney sweep.
So this is going to fit in there, and you're thinking, how's that actually going to reach anywhere? Well, don't do that. The reason it can also bend to where we need.
So it obviously won't sit this far out, but this gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. So in order to get it to fit, I had to bend it underneath the wash bottle and then back up to the air intake. And I've secured it in place just simply with the trusted old zip ties.
It goes down there, around. Sorry.
Let's get everything fitted back on and then I can do the final reveal. And there you have it, an air intake I can now happily call a cold air intake. Now let's hear how it sounds. Go on, give it some beans. Click the video on screen now to see how I transform this car from looking like a boring Z-Tech to this.